So welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. Well, good morning, y'all, and welcome back to my kitchen. It has been a big request from y'all for me to make can up some pizza sauce. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning. Okay, you can see I've got my tomatoes and I've got my blender here. You can use a food processor or your blender, whichever one you want. I'll be using my Ninja blender here. And I'm only going to fill it halfway full because if you try to fill it up and turn this sucker on, there's stuff just going to go everywhere. So don't do that. So anyways, I've just got it half full. We're going to start there. We're going to blend it up. I want it to be pureed really good. That's what I want. And then I'm going to put it in another container, and then I'll continue with my other tomatoes. So I've done poured my quart bag in there. So we're just going to pulse it and let it do its thing. So if you've got whole tomatoes out of the garden, you may have to just, instead of pulsing it, you may just want to turn the blender on to chop or, whatever. But that way you get it really smooth. That way to get that skin, if you leave the skin on, that way to get the skin really good. So anyways, I've got this pulsed where I want it. So I'm going to put it in a container. I've got another half point here of my tomatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and blend these up and get them in here too. This up just a little bit. I want to blend it up enough that I get them tomatoes chopped up and pureed. That's the consistency that I want my pizza sauce, or if I'm using it for just tomato sauce, like putting it into a meatloaf or something like that. Okay, I'm going to check it and see where we're at. Let me get my wooden spoon. I had my mic on, I had it on me and ready to go, and when I went to film, it kept blinking at me, and I thought, oh, I forgot to charge my mic. Yeah, this is blended up really, really well. There's no big chunks in it or anything like that. These Ninja blenders are so good. So I'm going to take this and pour it in here too. And what I'm using today is these are some really good plum tomatoes that were in the freezer. I think that the plum tomatoes, they just make it really good. Spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce, the Romas, the plum. Okay, one more time. And this is going to be kind of like my spaghetti sauce. I'm going to season it the way that I like it. And that should be for your pizza sauce too. You can also do this and just you can use it as tomato sauce for maybe in a meatloaf. That would be good, something like that. So I'm going to be making mine in 1/2 pint jars because that's all I need for pizza sauce. If you want to, you can do some in the little jars like this. It's just up to you. I'm going to be doing mine in a steam canner this time. And let's see. I've got everything out here, and I'm just going to, I want to show y'all something. These tomatoes were not out of my garden. These are plum tomatoes. Back when I done my video for making my homemade canned spaghetti sauce, I showed y'all I used number 10 cans. I had 6 of them that I had bought at such a good price that I could not pass it up. And I had them in the pantry forever, wanting to make spaghetti sauce out of them. And I finally done it, and I done a video. And let me tell you something. We done ate 2 jars of it, 2-quart jars. And that spaghetti sauce is so good. You can't buy anything out of the store that tastes any better. It just turned out so wonderful. And a lot of it had to do with the kind of tomatoes that I used too. Roma and plum tomatoes, you see how beautiful red they are. They make the best sauce. But, you know, we don't always have that choice. A lot of spaghetti sauce and stuff that I've made, the tomatoes come from my garden, and it was just every kind of tomato that I had out there that I made it out of. And it turned out fine, but maybe not as good as Roma or plum tomatoes. That's just my input on it. I just think they're the best. But we can't, I've never been able to grow such a truckload of Romas. I can grow all kinds of other tomatoes. But we really have cut back on our tomato consumption. But I tell you what, that spaghetti sauce was just too good. But you can buy these right here online, or a lot of these I'm finding even at Walmart. And these are a plum. This is a Italian peeled tomatoes, and it's in 28-ounce cans. That's 1 pound and 12 ounces. And you talk about beautiful, beautiful, just like this, tomatoes. If you'll screenshot that, you might find that online if you can't find it anywhere around you. Now, I'm not going to say they're the cheapest ones. They're not, but they are wonderful. You can find these for sure at Walmart and different places. This is a wonderful tomato too, but these are crushed. This can was crushed tomatoes, but you could still use it for spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce, anything like that. You could even use this if you want to make this got basil in it if you want to make salsa. So there's a lot of good uses, and this is a really good brand too. But what I've got in here is probably, let's see, when I weighed it out, it was between 5 and 6 pounds of my canned tomatoes. So you can kind of go by that, whether if you buy it in the can or if you got some in the freezer from your garden from last year or something that you're wanting to make some good old sauce out of. But so this right here is about 6 pounds. If you'll look back at my other video making my spaghetti sauce, of course I used like 35 pounds of tomatoes, so it was a big batch. We don't make that much pizza, so this amount's going to last me quite a while. So what you see me doing, you can double, triple it, whichever you want to do. I'm going to start out, and I'm going to use my powdered garlic instead of my minced garlic for my pizza sauce. And I'm going to start out, and like I said, I'm going to heat this up. And once it gets heated up, you'll be able to taste it and add more to it. Let me turn my stove on real low. I'm going to put it on kind of a low heat. I'm not going to let it cook all day like I did my pizza sauce. This is just going to warm up and, get all that good seasoning in there and get tasting good. And I'm thinking I'm going to put 3 teaspoons of granulated garlic. I'm going to put a couple teaspoons of my onion powder. This is really good onion powder. I buy it. Lord, I've had this, I don't know, a couple of years because I bought a big old bulk bag of it on Amazon. And I can't remember the brand name. I'd have to look it up. But probably just a couple teaspoons of onion powder. So I've got 3 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 onion powder. And of course you need some Italian seasoning in it. And this is just my homegrown, homemade from my garden. But you just use whatever you've got. The mixed Italian seasoning has rosemary, thyme, basil, and oregano in it. I'm just going to stir this up a little bit. Then I'm going to add, you know what, I'm going to get my tablespoon out. I want at least to start out with a couple of tablespoons. And it's, you know, I always love basil on my pizza. So this is some basil that I grew in my garden. And of course, I dried it and made powder out of it. So I'm going to add just a little extra basil to it. Let me get my tablespoon. I'm going to add a whole tablespoon of basil. We absolutely love fennel. This is fennel seed that I kind of crushed up a little bit. We love fennel in our spaghetti sauce, and I also love it in my pizza sauce. And this is about a teaspoon that I crushed up. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put, just to cut the acidity just a little bit. And you can also put a little baking soda in here if you wanted to. Probably just a good teaspoon in there of sugar. I don't want it sweet. I just want enough to cut the acidity. Okay. That's it for right now. You see how thick it already is. So this is going to take a little while just to slowly bring it up to a good simmer. Let it simmer just a little bit. Infuse all them seasonings in there. Then I'm going to taste it. And I'm also going to let this cook down just enough to thicken it up just a little bit more. And of course, when you can it, that does thicken it up a little bit too. Like I said, I'm doing steam canner today. You can water bath it. You can even pressure can it if you want to. Over in Italy, sometimes they don't even water bath their tomato products, and they sell just fine. I've watched so many videos on beautiful Italian women making up sauces, and they put them in the prettiest long neck jars, and they might throw them in a big kettle, but some of them just seal them up and they'll seal up. And I figure if anybody knows how to do any kind of pasta sauce, it'd be our Italian ancestors, our Italian. So I can smell it. I can smell the seasoning in it. I'm just going to stir it up good and bring it to a good simmer. I'm going to let it simmer for a while. Like I said, I'll come back with you. We'll taste it and see what else we might need to add to it. You can see it's already turned a darker color just by adding some of that Italian seasoning and oregano to it. I'm not at all sure how many pints I'm going to get out of this yet, but we're fixing to check it out. Now, usually I'd just be using a water bath canner, but today I'm going to be using my steam canner. And if y'all need some information about that, I will put it down below in my description box with my recipe. So our jars are hot. Our pizza sauce is hot. I'm going to leave about a ½ inch headspace. And I'm thinking that I'm probably going to have enough to do more than the jars I've got here. I've got 7 pints, half pints, I mean. Sorry about that. But you know, listen, y'all, y'all can do this and let it cool completely down. Put this in some good freezer bags or freezer containers. A lot of people in other countries, I don't see it much done here, will even put it in jars and put it in the freezer. And you can do that. You don't have to water bath steam it or pressure can it if you put it in the freezer. But if you have some good freezer bags, feel free to do that, because once it cools and you put them in them bags, you can flatten them bags out and they'll layer on top of each other in your freezer. If I was using, because I forgot to mention this, I mentioned it when I made my spaghetti sauce, using already canned tomatoes, they already had a citric acid in it. So I didn't have to add any kind of citric acid to it. If I was using homegrown fresh tomatoes, I would have added some citric acid to it. So I'm going to end up having several canners of my sauce, which is good, because this right here will be a year's worth of pizza sauce for us, y'all. And the thing good about this, you can take this, if you're making like a special meatloaf, like you want to make an Italian taste meatloaf, you can use this in your meatloaf. It will be delicious. I'm going to put some in my smaller jars too. And the reason for that is just for meatloaf purposes. Something that I don't even need half a pint for. So I'll have the small amount too. Which is just right. You put a little bit more in that one. And I will be getting some more of my jars out, heating them up and getting them ready too. So what you want to do is, I'm just going to run my debubbler down the side a little bit. I don't know how much homemade pizza y'all make. Of course, when my kids were all home, I made quite a bit of homemade pizza because we didn't eat out at all. And they just loved what we call the grandma pizza, which is made on a sheet pan. And kind of like what we would make at school, the homemade pizza, before they started buying it. Frozen pizzas for school. And the kids loved it. Now, we just had to use whatever we had. It was usually hamburger meat. I couldn't buy pepperoni. Couldn't afford it. So it was usually hamburger meat, and I would put spices in it, make it like Italian sausage or something, kind of spice that hamburger meat up a little bit. And sometimes we didn't even have mozzarella cheese. We just had to use whatever cheese we had. But the kids loved it, so that's all that counted. We forget about them times when, things were so innocent and everything just wasn't so anal, and you used what you had and you were happy to do it, You didn't gripe because you didn't have pepperoni or, stuff like that. So I'm going to take my lids. I'm using Superb lids. I love these lids. I've had 100%, seal on them. No issues of them buckling or anything. Some people still put their lids in hot water, and then some people don't. I think that's your choice. what you feel comfortable with. I'm going to have to get me a few more lids. In fact, I need to get more than that, so I need to get them ready for more jars. And then you just want to get your rings and put them on finger tight. And the jars are very, very hot. And I'm probably over here disturbing y'all on my mic here. But anyways, I'm going to get my rings on here, and I'm going to get them over here in my steam canner. Okay, we got our jars in here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then my little, I've got one right here. Probably have to just put it in the refrigerator and use it pretty soon. So, we're just going to put our lid on. And there is a vent hole back here, so you want it to be facing the back. It's just a little vent hole on the side right here, and it's facing the back. And up here is where you'll see, let me see if I can get over here. It's going to show your zones, and I'm in zone 1, which is the top one, the blue. And as it starts to heat up and steam, it will get over here in this part where it's a dark, dark green. And when it gets there is when I'll start timing it. And I do all my tomatoes for 40 minutes, regardless what size. I just always have. So, zone 1, it'll get over here into this dark green. You always need to check, see what zone you're in. And when it gets over here in this dark green area right here, I'll start timing for 40 minutes. And we'll be done. So we got our steam canner going, and we still got some sauce left. What I want to do is show you, if you don't want to make it pantry stable, you just want to put it up in the freezer. That's easy to do too. I just got me these are snack bags, all they are. They're not high dollar. I bought these at the Dollar Tree because I just think Ziploc bags are too expensive. Anyways, I do use them for freezing, especially in the summertime when there is so much coming out of the garden. You got to have them. But this is just a snack size, and that's the right size for just a little bit of pizza sauce. And I'm going to get me a smaller dipper if I can find one. I had one earlier. But, well, no, maybe I can do it without making a mess, but I doubt it. So you just fill them up to what you think you're going to need for one. Or if you think you always make 2 pizzas at a time. Ooh, it fell. Be careful with that. And then I'm just going to zip it up. Get the air out of it, of course. And these are small enough that they will fit in the door of my freezer and will not take up a bunch of room. Plus the fact that you can flatten them out like this and stack them up. So it's easy peasy, no problem. And whenever you need some pizza sauce, or maybe you've made some breadsticks that you just need a little bit of something to dip it in. Well, there you go. It's just the right amount. And if you're like me and Danny, you only make 1 pizza, put enough in a bag for just 1 pizza. And you'll have so much, you'll have a year's worth of pizza sauce. Or if you want to put it and use it, like I said, in your meatloaves. Because meatloaf, you know, we always put a little bit of either ketchup or tomato sauce or something in it. And this would just give it that wonderful flavor, of course. So I'm going to finish filling these up because I really don't want to do another canner. I need to get out in the garden. But this right here is not going to take up much space in my freezer. And I will use these up before I do the ones, my canned ones. But I just want to show y'all both ways that it will work to make you up some homemade pizza sauce. Whether if you want to can it or not is up to you. And that way you've always got it handy whenever you need it for whatever kind of dish that you need it for. And for those of y'all, like I said, like me and Danny, they're just cooking for two. This is an excellent idea to be able to just have enough for two when you need it. Okay, it's in my green zone there, so I'm going to start timing it for 40 minutes. So I wanted to show y'all where the steam comes out, that hole in the back, and you see there's steam coming out. Well, we got it done, y'all. We got our pizza sauce done. Got it canned up. 12 half pints that I've got canned up and ready for long term in the pantry. And I also got 8 of the little bags in the freezer. And they fit just really well right there in the door of the freezer. And like I said, I will start on them first when I go to making pizza. I'll make sure that I use them first before I use these because these are pantry stable. I've got enough pizza sauce here for me to last the rest of the year, y'all. No problems. So I got that done. Then the video that I done making my homemade pizza sauce, or sorry, spaghetti sauce. And I've got enough to last me probably, if we don't hog it all up, pretty quick. My spaghetti sauce should last me at least half a year. Just depends on how many times we end up having spaghetti, or if I make some kind of a lasagna or some kind of pasta casserole to go somewhere, how long it's going to last. But it's going to last me quite a while, and it's going to save me a lot of money too. And it's absolutely delicious, y'all. So there's nothing that makes us canners any happier than when we hear them little pings of these jars, the lids go ping, ping, ping. I've not canned anything in a while, so it just kind of made me giggle when I heard that first ping, and corners of my mouth kind of come up, and I thought, why does that make us smile? But it does. It just makes us smile. We just love it. So anyways, I just think that's kind of neat. But I am loving my Superb canning lids. You can get jars, the Superb jars. They're a wonderful company, wonderful lids. And I'm not able to order from Azure Standard. I know a lot of y'all do, but I just don't have a close enough pickup that would make it worth my while to go to. So somebody told me they thought that Azure Standard, that you can buy them off there. I'm not sure if you do, if y'all do order stuff from them. I'm not sure. That's just something you'll have to check out. I see my TV in the background. I was just wondering. I was sitting there going through some of my comments while I was waiting on my canner to cool down and all that stuff, and just going through comments and checking things out. And I was listening to one of my favorite YouTube channels, and it just kind of like relaxed me. So now that I got all this done, and I know I've got a year's worth of pizza sauce, and I got my spaghetti sauce done, and now it's time, knowing that the garden's fixing to come in, and all of that stuff that's fixing to happen, putting up a lot of garden stuff. I'm a little bit later than a lot of southern states. A lot of people are already canning cucumbers and putting up tomatoes and stuff. I'm a little bit behind that because we had some cold weather for a long time, and then we've had so much rain, But the sun's starting to come out now, and things are starting to look a little bit better. So I hope things straighten up with the weather. But I do have some baby squash coming on. My okra's looking good. I'm fixing to maybe go dig up some new potatoes. I've been picking green peas and putting them up in the freezer already. We've already eaten all the broccoli out of the garden because that's a cooler weather crop. Of course, all my lettuces and greens and stuff like that. But my zucchinis and the corn and the peaches and all that good stuff are fixing to come on pretty soon. I can't wait. So I can't wait to start putting all that stuff up. So all of y'all that were wanting me to put up some pizza sauce, I hope this helped y'all. Like I said, it's easy peasy. I mean, you go through, you just pick out the seasoning that you like and taste it as you go and make that sauce the way that you like it to taste. Danny and I don't like a thick layer of pizza sauce on our pizza. We like a thin layer. And we want to taste the crust and we want to taste the toppings. So the pizza sauce is just kind of like the middle ground there. But we always like to have it on hand anyways. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm going to put a link to these lids and all the other superb products. I'm going to put the link down in my description box below the video. And I will have a code that goes with it. It'll be WH20. I hope it works. If it doesn't, let me know because I might have to contact the company again about my code. Sometimes that happens. You just can't help it. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm going to get out in the garden now. I got some more things to plant. I need to fertilize my corn. I need to put some nitrogen on my corn and just piddle around, do some things. And I need to come back in and I need to work on my cookbook. A lot of y'all have been asking me about my new cookbook, and I'm still working on it, guys. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of typing. I'm trying to put a little more into this cookbook than my last one, even though my last one went over so well. And I appreciate y'all for just making it such a big success. Even though it was just like a little church lady cookbook, it went over so well. And I thank y'all for it. I'm doing my cookbooks myself. I'm taking away the middleman, and I have checked into all that, and it costs way too much money for me, y'all. It costs too much money to have somebody publish a cookbook. You have to have a lot of money up front, and it's just a lot of money. And the price that I would have to charge for a cookbook. So I'm still just doing it myself with my daughter's helping me. And so when you do all that research and you do all the typing and there's just a lot to put into it. But I just sit down at night and I just take my time and I go back and I see all the recipes that I've done in videos to make sure I put plenty of them in there. Plus, I'm going to have canning recipes. I'm going to have cooking for two recipes. I'm going to have seasoning recipes, and some stuff like homemade Bisquick and just odds and ends like that. My recipes are easy. Most of them are just few ingredients, but there's some in there that are tried and true family recipes that are so good that you'll want to try them. So I just want to let y'all know that I am still working on that cookbook. And as soon as I get it done, get it in print, and they deliver them cookbooks to my front door, I will be letting everybody know. It's just a lot of work, and I'm so glad that y'all are so patient with me. So y'all have a beautiful beginning of a new week. I feel like the weather is finally going to calm down, and maybe things are really going to start growing now. And, it's all about changes. We never know from day to day what life is going to bring us. We get up in the morning, we put our feet on the floor, we make our coffee, we sit down, and, we either say a little prayer, talk to God through His Son, Jesus Christ, and pray for people and pray for hope. And number one, give thanks. That's the first thing I do every morning, and before I go to bed is tell the good Lord thank you for everything. It don't matter if I've had a bad day, a good day, or so-so day. Every day is a good day. Things may not go like you planned, or there may be a little glitch somewhere, or you've had some sorrow go on, but every day's a good day because He gives us so much. So God bless everybody. We'll see you in a few days. Danny's with his mama right now, and we know that mamas need a lot of help and encouragement and taken care of when they get up in their elderly age. So let's all be good to our mamas. God bless everybody. We'll see you in a few days.